We're going to start today in the book of Hosea. We're dealing with knowledge. Knowledge is everything on this journey. And what I found over the years in the journey, the only thing that ever held me back was wrong or false knowledge. The knowledge that seems to be important in the world of man or Satan's world, but foolishness in God's eyes. So we're going to scripture to get the knowledge, and that's how I began this journey. And I consider that I feel I was in a very blessed position being raised by parents who were at least attempting to follow God. Even though they may have had many things that were off, the thing was that they brought me a foundation of faith on why to believe the Bible, and I researched deeply into it. I did not listen to people who said that the Bible is just frivolous words that are put out there by men who are not inspired by God. It's because people that say those things haven't done research to see how powerful this book is, because they're afraid of it. They're afraid of it because it could lead them to realize that they have someone that they're going to have to answer to eventually that is their creator. So they would prefer to be gods. Going to run their own life and look at the mess that's out there now over all these gods walking around out there. So in Hosea chapter 4, and I know many people that are watching these videos, if they're Bible readers, they have run across this verse before. And it says in verse 6, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children." So those that were to know the law in the nation of Israel that were rejecting God and his knowledge and his commandments were in a very bad position. And so, of course, they ended up in the hands of the pagans, the heathens, the unbelievers, and their whole world was based on legal bondage. And so when we follow the scripture, we're going to get the answers. And due to the fact, again, that my mind came into the scripture in the beginning of my research, going back now more than 15 years ago, even though raised with the Bible, I didn't have a comprehension of it. And spiritual eyes sometimes take a while to remove the legal veil off so you can see. We're going to go also to the book of Proverbs 3, verse 27, which is very important. So if you just bear with me for a second, we'll go to Proverbs. Proverbs 3, verse 27. We'll actually read 26, which is an important verse prior to that. And it says, "For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thy hand to do it." As I've explained in previous videos, if you're waiting for the government to do it for you, that would make no sense, because you're asking them to read your heart and your mind, and you're asking them to do something that's not required by them. It's required of you to do whatever act is the good and the righteous act. So there's been a lot of mistaken belief by the audience that has gone down the journey that bad government, we're going to get them, but we better be careful, because the meek will inherit the earth, and these are not humble statements when we go down that direction. They have their position until Christ arrives with his kingdom, but in the meantime, God's people have to wake up to the knowledge of the Bible in order to get through to the escape.